what's up? It's Brittany from Eating Bird Food, and today I want to talk to you about coconut flour. So coconut flour is an awesome substitute for regular flour in recipes. It is gluten-free, grain-free, it's high in fiber, high in protein, and it's an awesome substitute for people who are looking for nut-free options. I bake with almond flour a lot, and I get a lot of questions about how to make those recipes nut-free because a lot of people can't have nuts, and coconut flour is great for that as long as you're not allergic to coconut as well. So just a little bit of background on coconut flour and how it's made. So usually you can find it at all grocery stores now. When it first started to come out, like it was kind of harder to find, you had to get it at health food stores, but you can pretty much find it widespread at any kind of grocery store. I really like the Bob's Red Mill. It's organic, and the one really good thing about coconut flour is it's cheaper than almond flour. So that's a really nice thing as well. So with coconut flour, it is actually the coconut meat that has been dried out for a long time at a low temperature and then ground into a fine powder, which is what we call coconut flour. So things you want to know about that. I already mentioned that it's high in fiber, high in protein, so awesome for baked goods. And it has a little bit of a hint of sweetness naturally because coconut has a little bit of sweetness to it. So that's awesome too. And it kind of has this unique texture as well because it's super absorbent. So unlike traditional flour, it just really soaks in liquid when you add it to a recipe. So when you're baking with it, you cannot use it as a direct sub for one-to-one like all-purpose flour. Unless you're making something like chicken fingers or something. In that case, it will work, but when you're baking, you need to know that typically with coconut flour replacement, you're gonna be using a fourth to a third cup of coconut flour to replace 1 whole cup of regular flour because coconut flour is much more absorbent. And then you'll also need to tweak the recipe a little bit more in terms of the liquid. So you're gonna need more eggs. Coconut flour really needs eggs to help it bind and rise and all of that. And then you're also gonna need more liquid probably. So my recommendation is to use tried and true recipes, not to just buy coconut flour and start experimenting in your kitchen because you're likely gonna have a lot of fails, which no one loves that because you feel obligated to eat it because you don't wanna waste anything, and then it's just a bad situation just to waste ingredients. So I would recommend following tried and true recipes like the ones I'm gonna share today. So the ones I'm sharing today are 3 baked, kind of like baked good recipes. One is a great option for breakfast, one is a good snack option, and one is a really good dessert. So what we have is pancakes, a banana bread recipe, and cookies. And what I love about these recipes is they're all under 10 ingredients. How awesome is that? I love simple recipes like that. That's kind of what I'm all about. And they're all made with real foods, sweetened with wholesome sweeteners. And if you're interested, you can always sub low carb sweeteners if that's your thing. So I'm using honey in the cookies, the banana bread sweetened with banana. So that one might be a little bit trickier to get to be low carb. And then the pancakes are sweetened with a little bit of honey, but any of those you could use a low carb sugar substitute like Swerve or I know there's monk fruit, stuff like that, or stevia if you wish. But I really like using natural sweeteners. I don't follow a low carb diet, so I don't usually use those, but they are awesome if you are following low carb, and coconut flour is awesome for low carb. So let's just talk about the recipe. So first up, the pancakes. They're only 6 ingredients. They're super simple. They're fluffy, a little bit dense and cakey, and they taste so delicious. I've used like the basic recipes, what I'm gonna share with you today, but you can top them with whatever you want. You could add in some mix-ins like chocolate chips or blueberries or whatever you like in your pancakes. Super simple to just add those items in. And one thing I will note is when you're making the batter, you'll kind of notice that it looks a little runny at first, but that's the coconut flour. It takes a little bit of time for it to absorb that liquid. So you wait like 1 minute and then you're like, oh wow, the batter looks like regular pancake batter now. It's not runny at all. So just keep that in mind because I do mention that if it is a little thick, you can add more almond milk to thin it out a little bit if you want. And that kind of just depends on how thick and fluffy you like your pancakes too. So that's the pancake recipe, and then the snack recipe I'm sharing is the banana bread. This banana bread just tastes like traditional banana bread, you guys. It does not taste like it's made with a gluten-free, grain-free sub, and it is delicious. People are obsessed with it, and I'm obsessed with it. I think I made it like 3 times in 1 week when early on in my pregnancy when I was craving all of the carby things. So only sweetened with bananas, which is so awesome, and only 10 ingredients. So, and you can make it all in one bowl because it's gluten-free. So really awesome recipe there. And then last up, we have the dessert option, and these are cookies. I love this one too because it's only 8 ingredients. The only flour you're using is coconut flour, so you don't have to buy a myriad of different flours or thickeners or anything. And it's just super basic. I'm adding a little bit of chocolate chips in there and I'm sweetening it with honey? Maple syrup, sorry. Sweetening it with maple syrup, and there's a little bit of chocolate chips in there, but they are kind of like almost cakey, soft cookies, and I absolutely love storing them in the fridge and just having them cold. They're so delicious. So really, really love the cookies as well, and I cannot wait for you to try these. So let's hop right in. I'm gonna show you how to make all 3 of these.
Stir together coconut oil, honey, eggs, and vanilla in a medium-sized mixing bowl. Add in your coconut flour, baking soda, and sea salt, and then just mix until combined. Then go ahead and stir in your chocolate chips if you're using them. Scoop the dough using a cookie scoop and press it into a cookie shape using your fingers. Place the cookies on a baking sheet and bake for about 12 to 14 minutes in a 350-degree oven. Bake until the bottom and the edge of the cookies are golden brown, remove from the oven, and let cool. Mix together coconut flour and baking powder in a medium bowl. In a separate bowl, beat your eggs until they're well blended. Add your milk, maple syrup, and vanilla. Stir to combine, and then add your liquid ingredients in with your dry ingredients and stir that really well until any lumps disappear. Let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes so that the coconut flour absorbs some of the liquid. Then lightly spray a large skillet or griddle with nonstick cooking spray and go ahead and add 1/4 cup of batter per pancake onto the hot skillet or griddle. Cook until bubbles come to the surface of the pancake and the edges start to look dry. Flip and cook until the bottom is golden brown. You can serve your pancakes topped with maple syrup and then toppings of choice. In a large mixing bowl, add your mashed banana, eggs, coconut oil, vanilla, and almond butter. Give that a stir and then add your dry ingredients. So coconut flour, baking powder, baking soda, and sea salt. Stir until well combined and then gently add in your chocolate chips. Pour your batter into a parchment-lined loaf pan and bake for about 45 minutes or until the bread is golden in color and a toothpick comes out clean. Remove from the oven and let it cool for about 20 to 30 minutes on a wire rack before removing from the pan to cool completely.
So there you have it. There are 3 coconut flour recipes for you to go ahead and try. I hope it inspires you to grab a bag of coconut flour the next time you're at the grocery store. This is seriously a really inexpensive flour, only about $3.99, maybe even less, at your local grocery store. And as you can see, you can make some really great stuff with it. So if you like this video, please hit like and leave me a comment down below letting me know which recipe you want to try first. I cannot wait to hear. And all of the recipes are actually already on my site, eatingbirdfood.com, and I'll link them all in the description box for you. As always, please hit subscribe. I come out with a new video all about healthy food and healthy eating pretty much every week, so I can't wait to see you next week.